China drops a long list of demands on the US. But before we dissect the details, let's pose some pivotal questions. What prompted these demands? How might they reshape international relations? Join us as we navigate through the intricacies of this geopolitical chess game and explore the questions that arise from China's assertive stance on global stage. The already complex and potentially tense relationship between the two giants is further complicated by the latest reports that China has sent the US a list of demands prior to the much-awaited meeting between Presidents Biden and Xi Jinping. The hopeful prospects of nuclear de-escalation talks are thrown off balance by this revelation, which raises concerns that these important talks could be compromised before they even start. The Chinese demands are still unidentified, but their very existence raises a number of important issues. First, it raises the possibility that China is attempting to use the high stakes of nuclear negotiations as leverage to get concessions on unrelated matters such as trade, Taiwan, and human rights. Second, it suggests a lack of total transparency and confidence between the two countries, which could make future discussions and cooperation more difficult. These requests have serious potential repercussions. Inability to come to a consensus on nuclear arm control might have catastrophic effects on international security by raising the possibility of proliferation and unintentional escalation. A collapse in US-China relations may also have significant political and economic consequences, impacting everything from trade agreements to regional stability. The recent high-level meeting between the US Assistant Secretary for Arms Control and China's Chief of Arms Control offers some promise. The agenda covered a wide range of subjects, including marine affairs, but the emphasis on a non-proliferation is especially important. This renewed cooperation reminds one of the 2021 agreement on strategic stability conversations between Chinese and US national security advisors. This development is especially important because it coincides with growing tensions between the two superpowers. To keep the world safe and avoid an arms race, open dialogue on non-proliferation is crucial. This includes constraints on nuclear weapons and missile control. Building mutual trust and transparency, both of which have been challenged recently, is essential to the success of these negotiations. Even though the specifics of the conversation are still unknown, starting a conversation is a positive step in the right direction. As two of the main nuclear powers, the US and China have enormous responsibilities. In addition to helping their own countries, their dedication for non-proliferation and strategic stability makes the globe a better and more secure place for everyone. But there are still difficulties. The ability of both sides to put aside their differences and give priority to working together to find answers will determine whether or not this conference results in real progress. A shared goal for a peaceful future, a dedication to diplomacy, and an open communication are essential for negotiating this difficult path ahead. Beyond the immediate nuclear discussions, China's demands on the US ahead of their next summit might have far-reaching effects that complicate an already complicated relationship between the two countries. Let's examine the main issues and possible outcomes in more detail. There are questions about China's timing in lowering demands so close to much-awaited conference. It implies a calculated attempt to draw concessions on unrelated matters like trade barriers, Taiwan's status, and human rights concerns by using the crucial importance of the nuclear de-escalation discussions as leverage. If this strategy is seen as coercive, it may backfire, hardening US positions and escalating mistrust. The very fact that such a list exists at all suggests a lack of total transparency and confidence between the two countries. It is challenging to determine the genuine objectives underlying the demands due to its opaqueness weakness, which also fosters doubt. Effective talks become much more difficult in the absence of an open communication and a desire to exchange viewpoints, which might possibly hinder progress on important problems like the nuclear non-proliferation. If a nuclear arms control agreement is not reached, there could be disastrous results, increased dangers of proliferation, an arms race, and the consistent possibility of unintentional escalation could result from a discourse that is halted or derailed. Global effects would be felt, endangering stability and security on a global scale. A rupture in US-China relations might have serious political and economic repercussions in addition to the immediate security issues. Trade agreements could be upset, which would affect economies all across the world. Stability in the region may be compromised, especially in the places like the South China Sea. Widespread consequences could result from it, impacting everything from international collaboration on climate change issues to supply networks. There are ways forward despite the difficulties at hand. There will be a turning point when Presidents Biden and Xi Jinping meet. The parties must have a productive conversation in which they look for areas of agreement while putting the interests of world peace and security ahead of their own. Important elements include strategic compromise, open communication, and an understanding of shared accountability for maintaining world stability. Keep in mind that things are always changing, so how these requests actually affect things will rely on how each party responds and behaves. There is certainly difficulty ahead, but there is no optimism. Both countries have the ability to adapt to this storm and work toward a more secure and peaceful future for everybody through cautious diplomacy, skillful political maneuvering, and a dedication to the common good. The latest arms control summit between the US and China is significant, historical, and presents a number of issues. Though the specifics are still unknown, it's clear that each side came in with a set of worries. The US sought to comprehend China's aims and maybe prevent an arms race, probably in response to the country's growing nuclear arsenal. China, meanwhile, may have viewed it as a chance to tackle more general concerns like maritime affairs. Notably, formal arms control negotiations were replaced by talks on strategic stability in the original 2021 proposal. This implies a purposeful transition from risk assessment to discussions, maybe in recognition of the complexity of the problems and with an eye toward a less combative style. The 2-year lag between the proposal and the meeting serves as a stark reminder of diplomacy's glacial pace in an era when prompt change is desired by the international community. This delay may be a sign of the challenges facing the two superpowers in negotiating delicate subjects and fostering mutual confidence. Notwithstanding the difficulties, the meeting itself is a step in the right direction. Maintaining open communication is essential for controlling the hazards posed by nuclear proliferation, even when it comes to specific areas of arms control. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay connected with our journey through the world of innovation. Feel free to share your thoughts and comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Stay tuned for more exciting insights into the world of technology and innovation.